Hey guys, this is Wanda the Traveling Dutchie coming right at you from Costa Rica, my backyard, you guys. In today's video, we're going to talk about the downsides of living in Costa Rica and why a huge percentage of expats that move to Costa Rica leave within a year. Can you believe it? It has a lot to do with expectations. A lot of people say it just wasn't what I expected. And some of it has to do with money, which I'll explain at the end of this video. But for now, you guys, if you're new to this channel, I'm a Dutch expat and I have been living in Costa Rica for next month. It will be 16 years. Wow, time flies. All right, so if you haven't subscribed yet, you would really help me out to do so. And please make sure to check that little bell icon so that you receive a notification every time I upload a new video. Let's get into it, guys. Reasons, downsides of living in Costa Rica. I have seen a lot of people come and go in the last 16 years. And here's why. So here in Costa Rica, you have the pura vida lifestyle, which literally translates into pure life. And you know, it all sounds so exciting, moving to a tropical destination with palm trees and wildlife and beautiful oceans. The pura vida lifestyle, but it means pure life because it sort of also means that it's a laid back lifestyle. Meaning it is at a very slow pace compared to, for example, the United States. So that might be nice in the beginning, but then once the honeymoon phase is over, it might be very frustrating because what you'll hear a lot is things like mañana, mañana. That literally translates to tomorrow. However, it could be the day after tomorrow, next week, next month, or never. So if you're a personality that wants things done fast and the most efficient way possible, and if it's not happening that way you get flustered and frustrated, Costa Rica is not for you. You actually have to have a really open mindset and be patient and let things like that just roll off your back, because else you're gonna have a miserable time. Another reason that, another downside is that there's a lot of bureaucracy here. So anything that you would need to have done, like, I don't know, let's say you would need a work permit, not a work permit, a building permit, or you would need to file for residency. It's a process. You need a lot of paperwork. Oh, and what's amazing is what can happen is that the steps needed today to get your residency or to get that building permit might change a month from now or 6 months from now, and you'll need to do completely different stuff and start all over again. That's exactly what happened when I filed for residency. So then all the documents that I needed from the Netherlands, because I'm Dutch, like my police report and birth certificate, wasn't valid anymore. So you get to start all over again. Fly to the Netherlands and get the paperwork you can't get online. Yeah, that can get really frustrating, of course. Then another thing that is really common that new expats are not ready for is the fact that, very often, so I live in San Jose, I don't have electricity, or I don't have water, or I don't have internet, or neither three of them. It even happens more outside the city. But let's say, for example, I don't have internet. Now, this is a problem, especially for people like me that work online, which who doesn't right now? You're literally losing money as the hour goes by that you don't have internet. So you call the internet company, and here comes the next thing. People get really frustrated because the service, the client service that you receive is not like the way you're used to in the United States. Bear in mind, these people don't know any better. They weren't trained that way. So if you're gonna get upset on the phone because their customer service is really bad, they're actually gonna take it personal and they won't understand, and you're actually gonna make it worse for yourself. And again, a person that has a personality of that responds with anxiety and stress and anger is going to have a really difficult time. So you need to set your expectations. Every time I call a cable company or the banking here is very frustrating. I just already set my expectation level to -10 and then it won't be so bad. And after 16 years, I'm just used to it. I mean, there's still some special things that happen that are just beyond crazy and inefficient. And of course, I'm human. I get impatient too. But I'm not going back to the Netherlands after 16 years. You know what I mean? Because for me, the good outweighs the bad by far. So another thing that expats are surprised by, new expats. So they think of Costa Rica as this tropical destination, right? Which is true, with beautiful monkeys and toucans and sloths. But there's other creatures here too, right? There's scorpions. There's cockroaches, bugs, mosquitoes. I am covered. Oh, you can't even see it. Well, I'm covered in these little mosquito bites. It's all part of it. Oh, actually, talking about cockroaches, like 10 years ago, I came home and what I didn't know is that my neighbors had actually fumigated their house. I opened the door and I saw hundreds of cockroaches in my house, and they even came crawling up my sink. I could hear them like walking through the pipes. I was mortified. I screamed and I closed the door, and I called friends like, what do? I need a fumigating company. But that's a little extreme, obviously. But in this house, every now and then there's the cockroach and we spray them, no big deal. Ants. You can't leave anything on the counter no matter where you live, whether it's the city, the beach, the mountains. Ants. It's part of your family, believe it or not. Then lastly, why people leave is simply because they have the expectation of living in Costa Rica on a budget. Like they assume that Costa Rica is this third world country and everything is going to be super cheap and the dollar is going to go so much further. However, that is not necessarily the case. It depends on where you're from the US. If you're from an expensive area like California, then yes, Costa Rica is very cheap. But for example, Costa Rica is the most expensive country to live in within all of Latin America. Why that is, I actually created a video on that. I'll link it at the end. So after you're done watching this, you'll see a video. Why is Costa Rica so expensive? So you can imagine if you come here on a budget thinking, oh, it's a third world country, and then you realize that things are actually expensive. There's a lot of import taxes here, a lot of taxes in general. Then it gets kind of tricky, and then the housing available to you is in the not so nice areas, the areas that are not so safe, and then add all the points that I just explained about, trouble with the internet, things are slow, the customer service isn't up to par, and if you don't have the right mindset of easy going and go with the flow, it can get really frustrating. And then maybe if you're looking to live abroad on a budget, you would need to look at completely different countries, but not Costa Rica. I also want to point out that, a bunch of expats also leave not because there's necessarily something wrong with Costa Rica. It's just that they miss their family back home so much. Because at first the family is all like, yay, we'll come visit you all the time in Costa Rica. And in reality, that never happens that often. And they end up missing their kids, grandkids, you name it. And so they move back within a year. So that has nothing to do with Costa Rica, but it happens. So now you see this whole combination of, and I'm only pointing out the basic things. There's more little stuff going on here that I could write a book about. But these are the basic things, and also the things that expats complain about. Some don't. Or we joke about it. Like my friends and I sometimes joke about, oh my God, you'll never believe what happened. And we drink some wine and we deal with it. But yeah, do your research before you make the decision of moving, and then, lower your expectations, and you'll be fine. You guys, if you have any questions, leave them below in the comment section, or if you want me to do a video on a certain subject that I haven't touched, just tell me and I'll love to do it. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Ciao!